Good morning. It's Thursday, September 17th, and we're going to continue our discussion on the subject of will with a prompt from the Daily Stoic which reads, "Can I resist giving in to haters and hating them in return?" I remember the nauseating anxiety as it began to grow in anticipation. I remember the uncontrollable perspiration that formed on my forehead and the shortness of breath that tightened my lungs. I remember the desperation that I felt as I futilely searched for a solution to calm my nerves. I remember having no choice but to begin speaking and immediately finding myself unable to form clear, coherent sentences. I remember the deafening roar of silence that only amplified my debilitating sense of panic as I held on and white-knuckled the remainder of my obligation. I remember more than one occasion in which I faked a failed phone connection so that it would grant me a temporary reprieve. And to this day, I still can't trace the origins. But several years ago, probably when I began working remotely, I developed an intense phobia of public speaking. But interestingly, it only really began to manifest when I was presenting virtually. If I could see the audience and read their reaction, then there was a drastic reduction in my anxiety. But the absence of any real-time feedback that existed in a pre-Zoom or Microsoft Teams world of online presentations created a toxic environment for me, in which my insecurities and my fear of others' opinions would paralyze me. Recognizing that my career was in jeopardy if this continued, I enrolled in a Toastmasters course here in Houston, determined to overcome this personal issue of mine. I attended several meetings and decided I would finally take the plunge and deliver my icebreaker presentation. And my topic of choice would be Stoicism and the application in modern life. Sound familiar? But then COVID happened and the classes were canceled, and I put that initiative on hold. After all, this quarantine thing would only last a couple of weeks, right? But later into the month, something strange happened, which I still can't quite explain. I had traded a few videos like these with a small circle of friends and family, but then one Saturday afternoon, I felt this overwhelming compulsion to share that day's video on my Facebook page. And I knew that if I hemmed over the decision that I would lose that initiative. So I immediately jumped out of the shower and I uploaded the video. And I couldn't believe that what I had done when I hit post. But it was liberating. And so I did it the next day, and the next day, and every single day for the next 6 months. Every single morning, I would practice public speaking to an invisible audience. The same environment that had wrecked me became my comfort zone. And I learned to put myself out there and free myself from the fear of judgment from others. I knew there would be some who didn't get what I was doing, and that was okay. If it wasn't for someone, then just let them keep scrolling. As Epictetus said, keep in mind that it isn't the one who has it in for you and takes a swipe at you that harms you, but rather the harm comes from your own belief about the abuse. And as one might imagine, that the transformation in me has carried over massively to my professional life. There is no way in hell that I would have landed this new job if it weren't for that development. Now I love communicating and presenting to others in a virtual environment. And that's a good thing too, because it looks like this style of presentation is not going away anytime soon. Hope you have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye.